Hello and happy Sunday. I hope everybody weathered the storms over the last few days. It's been really, really horrendous for sure. And I know things here have been crazy. Don't mind me. I just don't know where something disappeared to, and that drives me crazy. I've been cleaning my room, so things are just a little nuts in here. So today we're going to work with the Celebrate sunflowers. Hey, Do, sorry I didn't get with you this morning. It's been crazy. And we are going to use colors that are a little weird, but for the simple, we're going to do a simple card and then a stepped up card, and they are going to be just about the same. And I'm going to use Early Espresso, 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4.25. Okay, so we have our card base. Then, while I'm thinking about it, let me just grab a piece of basic white. I forgot to cut my inside. Hold on 1 second. All right, that's that. Let me just measure this quick. 5.25 by 4. 1 second. All right. Between everything that's going on, I just forgot about that inside layer. All right, so we're going to layer this front up with another piece of Early Espresso, and it's 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and then Mango Medley. How crazy is that? 5.25 by 4. So we're going to layer this up. Make sure I cut it right, just like this. And then we are going to add a piece of the gold paper. And this is 2 3/4 by 4. And as you can see, I cut out my leaves from the center of this because I'm running low. All right, so this will go here, and then we're going to layer it up with another piece of Mango Medley, which measures 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. And I just want to take this piece, and I am actually going to run it through my cut and emboss machine really quickly with the Quatrefoil embossing folder. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this piece, but I don't want it so plain. So I'm just going to run it through. Should be quick and easy. Long. All right, so then it's nice and embossed. Hello, hello. All right, so those are our layers. Early Espresso. So let's get some glue. Hopefully I have the right bottle on these layers. Mango Medley. Now this is our simple card. And of course I have to add my layers. All right. And we're just going to also adhere this right to the front of the card. Easy peasy. And like I said, crazy colors. I'm glad you found me. Okay. Now these two layers are also going to be adhered together. But before we do anything, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put that up. I'm going to grab my sentiment, and I'm going to grab some early espresso, and I'm just going to check this to make sure that I have it, my sticker lined up properly. And it looks like it's off just a little. Let's see. All right, so I'm using early espresso, and I am actually going to stamp this right at the bottom of this card. Hopefully I didn't just mess that up. Nope, not bad. All right, so the Let's Celebrate You is right at the bottom of the card. So now we'll take this embossed layer and add it to our gold foil. And we are going to now pop this layer up. So it looked like the weather around us was pretty nasty last night and yesterday, and today we're still dealing with a bit of wind, but it's on the warmer side. I think it's about 45. Yeah, the colors are pretty. They're actually fall colors, but they go perfectly with our sunflower. So we're going to put this on, and it's not going to be centered because I want to make sure that we can see our sentiment. But before we do that, let's get some gold ribbon. My brain is not functioning properly today. I have to bring my vehicle back to the mechanic, and I'm going to drop it off tonight. And Friday was an all-day doctor's appointment. I mean, we had so many appointments. And then we had to take the cat to the vet. So I'm cheating. As you all know, I love to cheat on my ribbon. And I just added some glue dots, and we're just going to fold it around just like that, okay? Yeah, it is nice and sunny and windy, but that's okay. All right, so we're just going to add this to the front of the card. All right, easy peasy. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of basic white cardstock, and I already have my stamp set up in the Stamparatus. Now, if you didn't know, the Stamparatus is retiring, and it is going to be, they're going to put it on sale starting April 4th, and it's just going to be there until it is sold out. All right, it's just so you know. So we're going to take our basic white, and we're going to stamp that sunflower in early espresso. Okay, and then we're going to color it up. And I'm going to take some dark pumpkin pie. And let's see if I have some. What is this? That's light pumpkin pie. And I don't want that. Let's try, what's this one? Light mango medley and dark mango medley. And we're going to just color this up. I'm going to take dark and light crumb cake. That's ivory. All my blends are all messed up today because I did my Patreon video and I was cleaning my desk up and I didn't really clean my desk up properly. Is this it? Light crumb cake, dark. Okay, so we're going to use light and dark crumb cake, our light and dark pumpkin pie, and our light and dark mango medley. And we're going to take the dark crumb cake, and in the center here, where it is dark from stamping, we're just going to go right over that. Same thing in the middle. Okay? And that's the dark crumb cake. Then we're going to take the light crumb cake and we're going to color over where the dots are. And then in the center, and we're going to pull it out to that ring. All right. And let's see. I'm going to take the ivory and I am just going to color it over with the ivory, just to give us a nice center. Then I'm going to take the light crumb cake again and I'm going to just give it a quick wash right over the ivory. Now, where the ivory is so light, thank you for sharing. I know, I'm upset that they're getting rid of it, but hi, Liara. So now we're going to color up our sunflower, and we're not going to be too fussy about it. I'll start with the dark pumpkin pie, and we're going to do all these areas, and like I said, nothing fussy. The artist has all these shadow lines in here, so I am just going to quick go over these shadow lines. Just to give it some color. Some areas are darker than others. The petals towards the back are going to be darker because they're further away. And they have all these other petals near them. Now, if I took my time and did these, it would take an awful long time. So we're just going to get some color on the sunflower, going all the way around. And I'm sure I probably missed a spot. Now I'm going to take the dark mango medley and I'm just going to extend all this color that I just added. So I'm going over every petal, just extending that color a little bit, filling in a little bit more of these petals, just so we have less white on each of the petals. We're building up our color. I'm just going right around. I'm going to do that one completely. So I'm just looking at those artist lines and adding some color. All right, so you can see I wasn't very fussy, just adding color. Hi, Margaret. I cannot see that it's you, but hello, Karen. Now, you want to make the decision. Do you want it more yellow or do you want it more pumpkin pie? And the best way to do that is to check to see. That's what pumpkin pie would look like. So that's what the flower would look like. And then there is the light mango medley. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the light mango medley, and I'm going to use the brush this time, and I am just going to finish coloring in each of these petals. And I do go petal by petal. You can scrub it if you want, but I like going petal for petal. This way, if I do leave a little white behind, it's a good thing because it'll actually be just like a highlight. So we're just adding our light mango medley. And I'm not scrubbing, I'm just brushing it over so we fill in these petals. Like I said, you could do it and take your time with it, but we did it really quickly. All right. Now there looks like there's a more dark, oops, on this side of the sunflower. So I'm going to keep that towards, I think for your name to show up, you have to give StreamYard permission. I think that's what happens. So this is darker. So we're going to actually add this on this side of the card, and I'm going to keep the darker part of the sunflower towards the bottom, and we are actually going to pop this up onto the front of the card. And I'm going to add it right here. I'm going to get those out of the way. I'm going to grab another piece of gold ribbon. And I'm going to tie a bow. All right. And I am going to trim my tails. And grab a glue dot. And I didn't even grab my pokey tools. Oh, here it is. So let's grab a glue dot. And I'm going to add the bow right about here under that sunflower. And then take the little leaves that I die cut, and we're going to tuck them under, oops, that bow. I'm just going to trim that down a little bit and add some glue. And we're just going to tuck it under. And then take the single one. I'm just going to add a bit of glue to the bottom leaves. We'll lift this side up a little. And then I have some gold embellishments. We'll just add to the front. We'll put it over here. All right, so just a quick Just a quick, simple Saturday card. All right. For the inside, I think what I'll do is, let's do some leaves. This way I do not have to worry about coloring the inside. What I was looking for is my stamp scrubber. I have no idea what I did with it. And I'm going to grab some old olive. And I'm just going to check to make sure. Today, if you notice, I posted on my blog, I have all the colors that are retiring. So you may want to take a look at that list. So I just added a few leaves because, again, they'll sell out pretty quickly. And everything is only while supplies last. So if you have any favorite colors, I would suggest that you grab them. Plus, if it's not just the cardstock, if you have the stamp pads and need the refill, you better get the refill if you do not have it. All right, so just a quick, simple Saturday card. All right, so we'll put that aside. Now we'll grab the one for stepping it up. And again, we are going to start with the 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, early espresso card base. We are also going to layer it up with a 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 piece of early espresso. This time, we're grabbing some white. And we do have our gold again, and our gold leaves, and another piece of basic white. All right. This time, though, we are going to figure out just about where we want this piece. All right. And I'm going to just, actually, let's see. I think what we're going to do first is grab our Stamparatus. Now you'll notice I have some lines here, and I'm just going, oops, grab this. I'm going to make sure it's in here properly. I don't know if you can see, but I do have some lines here. And that is to line up my paper to stamp these. I just want to make sure that I have it right. I'm going to actually move this one up, I think. All right, because I want my stamp to line up. So I'm going to put the large piece in first. And I have my sunflower here. I'm going to end up messing up my Versamark even more, but we're going to ink this up with our Versamark. And let's see. Here it is. We're going to stamp this. And the Versamark is red, and there is brown on my stamp. So that's why we have an odd color here. I'm going to take some gold embossing powder. And we're just going to emboss this sunflower up. Okay, so there is the first one embossed. Before I heat that up, we're going to grab the other piece. And like I said, I'm going to I have it lined up, but I want to make sure that I can get the sentiment on. So I'm going to move it up a little bit. Make sure it's on there straight. My stamp is still here. I'm going to ink this up with the Versamark again. And we're going to stamp it again. Let's close this up. We'll grab our embossing powder. And get that sunflower embossed. All right, I think that looks pretty good. We'll just put this aside for now. Grab my heat gun. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, this stamp set is nice. I think it's retiring though. All right, so I'm going to heat this up. And I would do it on screen, but my cord is just a little too short. All right, so I want to make sure it's all embossed. And that looks good. Let's do the second one. And so does that one. All right. So now that we have our layers embossed, and the reason we did it that way is so we can line it up on the front of this card, and the sunflower will line up as one, okay? But before we do that, I'm going to let this cool for a minute. We're just going to put a little bit of seal right there. I want to line this up. And I want it to hold in place. And I'm going to, let me just look to see what that noise is. Somebody must be mowing their lawn. And we're going to start with some Cajun, nope, you know what? We're going to start with the lightest color. Let's start with some Daffodil Delight. And we're going to ink up, starting at the top of the layer. Let me grab this. Somebody must be mowing their lawn. We're going to start adding some color. And I'm not going to worry too much about blending. We're just going to get this color onto this layer. And I want it on the darker side, so I'm going to keep piling on the color. And like I said, this is the Daffodil Delight. Now you'll notice a little white ridge. I don't have to worry about that because it's going to be covered by the gold foil. All right. I think that's my neighbor, actually. Now let's grab some pumpkin pie. I'm going to use the same brush. The Daffodil Delight is on the lighter side, so this one will be okay. I'm just going to hit this up here, though. Making sure my layer's on here straight. So now we'll ink up and add our next color. And I'm avoiding my sunflower as much as I can. I want to just blend this color in. All right. So you can make it as dark or as light as you want. I'm just going to add a little bit more right there. And then I'm going to grab some Cajun Craze and add that to the bottom. And I'm going up onto the pumpkin pie just to blend those two colors a little bit. All right. So now we have our background with blended colors instead of the cardstock. We can take this one off now. All right. And I'm going to grab my early espresso and our Let's Celebrate You. Now this time I'm going to have to put it way down towards the bottom. And it's going to cut off the Y. And I'm actually going to grab my water painter. Make sure I have enough water in here. And I do. And I'm going to grab some pumpkin pie. And with the water painter, I am actually going to, let's make sure I have some ink on here. Yep. I'm going to add some water to the image. Oh, come on. Oh, there it goes. I want to add some water. Add some water to this. I always have trouble with my, and we're going to add some color. And again, nothing fancy. Now we don't have to do down here too much. We want to really just concentrate on the petals up here. And since we did emboss, we can just scrub it a little bit. Let's get this top piece. I'm going to add a little bit of more color over here. All right. So we have our sunflower colored there. This one we do have to do completely. And again, I'm just going to scrub the color in. Trying to focus the dark down close to the center and then coming out so it's a bit lighter. right. Then for the center, I hate to do it in, let's do it in soft suede instead. I'm going to add a little bit of water. I think I need to clean, oh, there it goes. So I'm just going to get some soft suede and color in the center. All right. So now that our flower, let me just see if I have a wipe in here, and I do not. What I would suggest is after you watercolor, if you don't let it dry, wipe it with a paper towel or something to make sure that's going to be covered, and it will. Our layer is nice and warped now because of the water, so you just want to make sure you straighten it out a little bit. And let's grab our layer that we're going to put this on. I am going to take my seal. I'm going to put it right along the edge because I want to make sure this really stays down where the paper is warped a little bit. And so it doesn't stick down too much at first. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the seal. I'm going to add some glue to the center. And come on. I want to center this so it's on here straight. That should be good. I'm just going to trim this side a little bit. Just a hair. A little bit more. Oh, I just don't like the sound of, how crazy. I don't like the sound of the lawnmowers because that means there's one more job I'm going to have to start doing. All right, so here's our first layer. So now let's add some glue, and we're going to add this to the front of the card. The paper is still just a tiny bit damp. Okay, I'm just going to put that aside a second. Now we're going to grab the other sunflower, the top piece, and I am again going to put my seal along the edges because I want to make sure this sticks down where it's a little bit warped from the water. I'm going to add some glue again. The seal will protect this white layer from showing the glue through to the front, but it'll also help so it doesn't stick down before I actually want it to. All right. So now we have our layer. Let's grab some ribbon and our glue dots. I gotta get my dinner on. I forgot to throw it in the oven. Hopefully it'll be done in time. All right. So there's our ribbon. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm just going to cut another length of ribbon. So if you joined me late, I was saying that my new blog post today has the retiring list. So you can check that out to see if there's anything on it that you were looking for. Things are on sale up to 60% off. Plus, the retiring colors are on my blog post. This way, if anything on there is one of your favorites and you want to stock up, now would be the time to do it. It goes on sale, I believe, the 4th. So you might want to keep that in mind. All right. Excuse me. So what I am going to do is pop this up onto the front of the card. Let me grab my dimensionals. Oh, now I hear music. I don't know who that is. All right, so let's pull our card in. We want to at least try to center this and line up our sunflower. And that actually looks pretty good right there. I am going to grab my die cuts this time. And before I put my ribbon down, I'm just going to add some glue that already clogged up. So we'll put one here. Then we'll take the double and add some glue. And we'll tuck it under here. And then we can grab our ribbon. I'm going to put the bow. I'm going to put the bow right in between. And then we can grab our embellishments. Oops. I'll put one here. It's sticking to my finger. One here. And let's put one down here. All right, so here is the one we did with the stamped. And here is the one where we blended. So just stepped up just a bit. And then for the inside, I'm going to do the same thing. So there you go. Just the same version of the card done 2 different ways. So I hope you like these cards. I'll have the dimensions on my blog, hopefully by later. I have to get my car to the mechanic and not sure how I'm getting home yet. So thankfully he's just up the road. So have a great rest of the day. Stay safe. And I'll see you tomorrow night for Mystery Card Monday. Have a great day. Bye-bye.